To all those who thought I was done talking about mental health, please listen up because I will not be silent on this topic. This is a topic that needs to be discussed. There are so many going through this, so many dealing with this, and so many that don't know how to come forward and deal with any of these situations. If I can do my little part of having an episode come out weekly, have my own series to hopefully help at least one person out by situations that I've been through from some firsthand experience and other guests I may have in the future that have experiences, then I will definitely continue to do my part. I will not be silent. I will keep speaking on this, for it is important, and it is important to me. Please enjoy today's lesson on mental health, and please check on your people always. Never know what they are going through. Be blessed.
What is going on? Welcome back to Lawn Dude on Earth. Once again, this Micah, your host for the afternoon to evening to night to morning. Whatever time of day you listen to this podcast, man, I appreciate it. Now, today's obviously this is an episode, about controlling, not even controlling, but just dealing with mental health, dealing with your mental, checking on your folk, making sure your people are good, man. Even if it's somebody that you don't know and you see that they're going through something, just checking on folks and asking how they're doing, how they're feeling, how their mental going is sometimes all they need. That's it. But real time, man. Today is December 20th, 2024. So, today's subject really is one that I'm real passionate about and I'm real fired up about. So, God forbid, you know what I mean? Well, not even God forbid, but the day that I do leave this earth, because all of us are guaranteed to leave this earth at some point in time. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. But that day that God says is my time, do I really want to be known as, oh man, he was a business tycoon. Boy, he sure knew how to run a business. Boy, he was that dude. He was a good dude. Blasey this, blasey that. Let me tell you what I like to be known for, and it's what this subject is going to be on. I want to be known as a great husband who treated his wife right, who showed her love all the time, gone above and beyond to be there for my loved ones. I tell you what, man, your life changes the day that you get married, but it changes even more the day that you have your first child. From that day forward, your life changes forever if you're doing something right. Because I know for me, and this is me talking about what it was for me. One of my ultimate goals, I'm not even going to say my goal, one of my ultimate goals has always been to provide for my family, protect my family, and to be present with my family, to love on my family. And I could keep going on, so forth. But I can't sit here and say that that's always an easy thing to do when it comes to always, especially that present part. When you own a business, being present sometimes is only difficult because at the end of the day, you still got to get work done so that you and your family can still do things, so that you are still able to provide for your family. And I'd be lying if I didn't say that that's one of the toughest struggles, is being present to everything, trying to be present to everything while being able to provide. In my case, I could sit here and say I've been blessed to be able to do that, which is a great reason as to why I decided to start my own business, because the company I was working for before I started my own business, I didn't have time for anything. They didn't quite incorporate time for you to have with your family working there. So running my own business, I can argue that I'm busier, but I'm able to manage my time a lot better, and I don't miss much of anything. And I do feel sorry for, there are some out there that just have to work all the time, and they're just not present, not able to be present. They would love to be, but they have to provide. So I will never undermine the fact that I am in a blessed situation. But I want to know, let me reword that. I want to be known as a great husband, a great father, a great man of God, and just great man in general, a great leader. You know what I mean? Like, when I say your life changed forever as a father, I mean, yeah, it changes as a husband, but it really changes as a father, because you're constantly striving. You know what I mean? You find that great partner, the two of you guys are always constantly striving to provide a better life for your children. You got to let them go to school systems, and you got to hope and pray that they're doing well there, and that they are speaking up for themselves at the same time. It is just something that I'm passionate on, and I never understood how somebody could lay down and have a child and not take care of them. Like, I've never understood that. Like, deadbeat ain't even in my vocabulary. Like, I couldn't do it that way. 100% a part of my family's lives is big for me. It's huge. And I want to be known as a great father who has always been there and sacrificed everything for my family. Now, a lot of people see these moguls, or what's the other word? Gurus. You know what I mean? And they go, man, I sure would like to have their money. I sure would like to be rich like them. I sure would like to do what they do. Me personally, I want to know what kind of family, man, that person is, man. I want to know if that person is present to be at their family's events, at their kids' games, at their kids' birthdays, at their spouse's birthday, at anything that their spouse needs them to do. Are they there to eat lunch with their spouse every once in a while. I know some people listen to this and they go, where? Eat lunch on where? Games on where? Well, you know what? That's not going to be important to everybody. There's some folk out there that, it's all about the money. It's all about how much money you can make. But like I said, this is my podcast, and I'm talking about what it is to me, what it is for me. I'm a family man. You know what I mean? I love my wife. I love my kids. So at the end of the day, when I leave this earth, I would love to be known as a man of God, a man who put God first, a man who was a great husband. Screw that. Let me change that wording. A man who is an excellent husband, a man who is an excellent father, a man who takes care of all those around, a man who's anything opposite of a crab in a barrel. Because you know what, man? Another part of everything that I'm talking about right now is I want to uplift people. If you part of my circle, you part of my camp, I'm uplifting you. And you know what? If you don't have that same uplifting spirit, I hate to be that guy, but you can't be around me. I decided when I first decided that I'm not looking at 2025 as let me set a goal and a New Year's resolution. I'm going to start working on that now. When I decided to start working on my resolutions, on my goals, on what I like to accomplish, that was when I decided that I'm just going to be leveling up from this day forward. And everybody around me, I expect to be leveling up as well. I can't be around no crabs in the barrel, and I can't be around people who are just comfortable with not even trying to do better for themselves. And that's not to say that, like, say, if you got somebody around you that needs help getting, leveling up, just like I do, just like every other regular person does. That's not to say that if you see one of those who is struggling, that you just look at them and keep moving forward. Nah, man. I know for me personally, that is not how I roll. It's not how I operate. It's not my style. If I see one of my people around me, man, if I see somebody from my circle that is, struggling, that needs encouragement, needs, a sounding board, I'm there. Just like they're there for me as well. That's why I said you can't keep crabs in a barrel around you. You got to keep positive people around you. You got to keep people that level you up. You got to keep people that lift you up. You got to keep people that aren't looking to have their hand out the whole time that you're doing things. And you got to be that same person for them in return. You can't just be sitting there with your hand out. You sit there with your hand out, you get upset when people get upset with you because you're asking for something else. I don't blame them. You got to think about that from their perspective. How do you feel when somebody keeps asking you stuff? Or the only time somebody reaches out to you is when they need money. I've known quite a bit of people like that, and needless to say, those aren't people that I keep around me. And that's not to be prideful or sound prideful. No, none of that. It just goes back to what I just said. If you're not even trying to do better for yourself, then that's not the type of energy that, you need around you. I mean, it's okay to fail. You know what I mean? I don't even like calling it failure. I call it a learning experience. when you don't succeed. It's okay not to succeed, man. At least try. At least try. You may fall flat on your face, but at least try. So, I'm always going to be one to try. And all those around me, keep it real with you, keep it completely on 1,000 with y'all. Everybody around me, I don't even have to say this to. Because I only have people around me that would love to level up, that would love to learn from, any mistakes or any times they did not succeed on something, myself included. There are so many things I didn't succeed on. There are so many things I haven't succeeded yet. I'm not going to call them failures. They're learning experiences. So one thing I can sit here and guarantee, and yes, guarantee, I guarantee I will be leveling up. Because I'm sorry, whatever I got to do to get away from mediocre is what I'm going to do. And there are some areas that we can all say we've been mediocre at, we've been minimum at. I can literally give you the real deal Holyfield right now. I can keep it 100% with y'all. There are some areas in my life where I can sit here and say I've been doing the minimum. I've been mediocre at. You know what I mean? Like, one thing I don't ever want to be told I'm mediocre at, or at the minimum effort, minimum anything, is being a husband and father. And you know what? There are times when it comes to those that I can't sit here and say I'm Mr. Perfect. Just like I'm talking about learning in life, not succeeding, there are times in our lives, our personal lives, whether it's with our spouses or with our kids, that we don't succeed and we're looking for learning experiences. For example, if your kids aren't getting great grades in school, you gotta reflect and not just sit here and blame your kid all the way. You find a way to help them. You find a way to figure out what's going on. Oh no, I've been in this situation right here. I've stayed up with my kids when they've needed me to help with school stuff. Keep it real, there are times when I'm sitting there so tired, I'm dozing off trying to sit there and help them out with that. But you know what? I'd rather be, once again, the one who is sitting there trying, even if it's an assignment that I don't even really understand. I'd rather sit there and try. I'd rather sit there and be there for them. And you know what? My wife is the same way, because once again, it's my circle. So when I say my circle, you best believe that my wife is there every step of the way. We uplift each other. So there's an area as a husband I'm not doing my best at. And I need to keep in mind what that is so I can improve and do better. As a man of God, boy, I can really speak on that one. There have been various times, even to this day, where I'm not reading the word like I should be, like I even would like to be. And there's no excuses. I can do better. Cut out the minimum. Cut out the mediocrity. As a business owner, cut out the minimum. Cut out the mediocrity. Now I want to sit here and complain when can't cover a bill. I want to sit here and complain when something is coming up and I'm sitting there trying to figure out how to cover it. Cut out the minimum. Cut out the mediocrity. That is where I'm standing right now. And that is what I am striving my dead level best to get over right now. Because I'll be doggone if I spend the rest of my life talking about some minimum. mediocre. Because you know what? I've said it this whole entire podcast. I am a family man and I want to excel at that. I also want to be a blessing to others. I can't do that if I accept minimum and mediocrity. I do not accept that. Those around me deserve the best version of me. So if I was a sleeping bear in any categories of my life, it's time to poke that sleeping bear. It's time to get rid of the minimum. It's time to get rid of the mediocrity. It's time to excel. It's time to succeed. It's time to be there for everybody. This just goes out to everyone when I say this. It's time to be there for everyone. So let's cut out the minimum. Let's cut out the mediocrity. I know there's some of y'all listening to this podcast right now. Man, this guy right here keeps talking about minimum and mediocrity. I'm so tired of hearing minimum and mediocrity. I'm so tired of hearing him talk about cutting it out. Well, if you're tired of hearing me talk about cutting it out, and if it's really, pinching a nerve or, striking a match to throw onto the gasoline, then maybe it's because you need to work on that yourself. Did you ever think about that? I have a couple podcasts right now, a couple podcasters out there who it's tough for me to listen to them because they're basically talking directly to me when it comes to certain things. That's like anybody from the green industry right now who listens to green industry podcasts know who John Pajak is. He has some great podcasts, but anytime he was talking about debt and talking about loans, oh man, I get squeamish listening to those because it feels like he's picking on me. He's talking directly to me because you know what? He is. I can't sit around and get squeamish. You know what? I need to change some things. Then I wouldn't have to feel a certain way. You know what? I took that as I'm going to work on this. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to perfect this. I'm going to perfect that. I'm going to cut out the minimum. I'm going to cut out the mediocrity. I'm going to succeed. So if you haven't gotten anything from this podcast today, it is the fact that I plan to always be all I can be for those that I love. I am a family man. I am a man of God. Don't ever forget that. Because I won't let you forget it because I'm always going to love on everyone. That's just how I get down. I'm always going to show my love to those close to me. And I'm going to enjoy life while doing it. I'm going to enjoy life with those that I love. I wish the same for you guys. Be sure to reach out to your families, reach out to your friends, reach out to your foes during this holiday season. And check on your people, man. You got to check on your people. Some of them are real low right now. While you're at it, ask them how they're doing, how they're feeling, how's their mental. And if you have that empty room at that table, or even if you don't, make that room. For those who are going to be lonely during the holiday season. And let them have a seat at the table. Let them have a seat at your table, man. So if I don't get on these airways before Christmas, which I hope to, then I wish you a Merry Christmas, a blessed Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. Although I should be on here before New Year's. I do wish you a blessed Merry Christmas. You be blessed. Peace.
Thank you for listening to Lon Dude on Earth. We talk about all kinds of things here. The good stuff, the tough stuff, and everything in between. If you like this show, please give us a 5-star review. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, and have a blessed day.